I finally figured out what my dad meant 20 years ago. Hey, it's John, your Mindset Moto guy. Welcome to your daily UpShift video. So, probably 20 years ago it was, my dad taught me a lesson. And he didn't teach it directly to me. He was kind of teaching it to some other people, and I was there with him in the setting. Well, let me clarify a little bit of the history. My dad and I, he started teaching motorcycle classes a few years before that, and he taught a lot. And I started teaching with him, and then after he passed, I taught for 22 years total, I think, give or take. Still do. But anyhow, he was talking to one of our student classes in time, and he was talking to even some of the coaches that worked with us. And he said, if I only was allowed to ever say one word during an entire beginner or any kind of motorcycle class for that matter, he said, is there anybody could guess what word that is? And people would guess various things, and nobody would get necessarily. And he said, the word is look. L-O-O-K, look. If I could only say one word ever teaching people to ride motorcycles, it would be the word look. And if you've ridden a motorcycle, or if you've done any skiing or golfing or shooting or flying, or it's important, the visual things, knowing where you're going, looking where you want to get to, having a target in mind, those are all critical. That's a critical aspect of having success in any type of visually driven activity, sport, what have you. So it was pretty clear to me. That was, pretty right away. The first time I heard him say it to somebody, I was like, yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. That I would choose that word as well if that was the only one I was limited to. Because a bunch of things happen when you're riding a motorcycle, or when you're learning to ride a motorcycle for the first time. Looking, where you want to go. Not where you're going, look where you want to go. Could be straight ahead, but not straight down or 5 feet in front of you, looking down the road. Or it could be, as I'm getting ready to make a turn, I'm looking here, I'm looking there, and I'm following my turn. So, if you've ever done any stuff like this in riding or anything like that, you can understand vision is huge for that. So the key is, though, when you're looking where you're supposed to look, where you want to be going, and not focusing down on the things that are happening at the moment underneath you, you get more relaxed, you get more focused, your sense of speed slows down if you're riding a motorcycle or you're trying to. All those things sort of fade away, and you get looser, relaxed, you breathe more. All kinds of stuff happens when you just simply look. And today I was working with my mentor and an amazing group of humans that I'm so blessed to be able to interact with and work with and learn with. And we were talking about your self-image and working with even more advanced stuff on that. And one of the things that he shared with us is that his mentor had this self-image writing that, if you want to know about it more, just let me know down below, and I'll be happy to share it with you. But his mentor put the word let on the first page, L-E-T. Just let this happen. Let this be. It's as simple as you will allow it to be to become your true self. And when he said the word let, the word look immediately popped into my head, and the vision of my dad saying it to people, and how it hit me, from a motorcycle standpoint, it made sense, and I've made some connection to it into doing this kind of stuff and mindset work, but it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Suddenly, like, wow, this look where you want to go in your life. And if you keep on path, you don't always stay on path, but if you keep with a mission and where you want to go and how you want to, I want to get to that place, you're going to get off track sometimes, but you're going to keep coming back to your course. You're going to course correct, and you're going to come back to course, and you're going to eventually work towards that finish line, whatever that may be. And it might be that you need to go off course to grow a little bit, to get back on course. That might be the case. But or something goes wrong and you need to stop and address some other problem for a while. But the idea is, by looking where you want to go in your life and really having a target or a goal in mind. It doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be just important enough to you to matter, so that you will stick on it and stay on course with it. So the idea here, hello Mr. Deer, Mrs. Deer, is that when you do get off course, when you do get distracted, when you procrastinate, when you avoid the things that are happening, I know nobody's ever had that happen. I know I haven't. Of course not. Every day. Happens all the time. I'm constantly trying to working on course correcting from that distraction or avoidance or procrastination stuff. And the fact is that if you've got a really solid end goal or destination, you're going to be able to get back on track. But the longer you stay off track, the harder it is to find and course correct back to where you wanted to be in the first place. So it's really important, if you are off track, to start really trying to focus on getting back on track, even the tiniest little bit. You don't have to get 100% back on track, but it would certainly help if you want to get moving towards that mission, that it's important enough that you have the ability to course correct in your life. So that said, looking is so important. Looking ahead as you're walking, looking ahead as you're riding your motorcycle, looking ahead as you're trying to move forward in your life and get to your destination. I've gone on, I went on a motorcycle tour, and all I didn't really even know tons and tons about where I was going, but I knew that I really wanted to understand and learn more about that. So I put myself in the hands of very capable people that I understood could do a heck of a job for me, and I let them guide me. My overall goal was to learn and experience and expose myself to this amazing place, but I had no idea how to do it, so I entrusted others that are experts at that to help guide me through that process. My end goal was still met, but I got backup, I got help from people that were experts in a field that I knew very little about, if not nothing almost, and they helped bring me through that process. I feel a little more comfortable going there now because I've been there, but I still would probably go back and use them to guide me through. I don't need to be the expert on everything, but because I had a goal in mind that I wanted to do this thing and I wanted to have this experience in my life, I was able to make it happen. And by truly keeping my eye on the prize and looking and setting a goal to do this, it took me maybe 4 or 5 years of focused energy to make it happen, but it did. I got off track a bunch of times on the way around, but it certainly got me back. I kept going back on track because it was something I knew I absolutely had I didn't want to miss out. I wanted to do it. I wanted to go on this tour. I wanted to see these places and experience these things that were so different from my everyday. And in the same way, you can have goals towards your life, towards your fitness, your health, your business, whatever those goals are. If you've got them really clearly defined, and they don't have to be perfect, but they have to be clear enough to find definition that you want to keep doing them. And then even if you get off course a little bit, just remember to look back where you're going. If I was going around this corner up here and I got looking off the side, I target fixated on something off the side of the road, we all know how that ends up bad. But instead, I start to target where I want to be, knowing that the other side of the corner is here, and I ignore the part that's going to distract me or be bad for me, and suddenly I get through the turn with no problem, with ease and zero effort, because I just stayed true to what I knew. I just let happen what I knew to be true. I knew the bike was capable of the turn with me as the pilot, and it was no issue. But had I questioned myself, oh my God, I'm not going to make it. Oh my God, I'm looking over there. That guardrail's getting really close. Well, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to make it true. So looking where you want to go in life and not ignoring the negative, ignoring the downsides. And again, not being ignorant to them, but not allowing that in to your mind and not allowing that to knock you off course. Certainly things are going to come along. They're going to take your energy, but you want to be able to decide, okay, you know what? I have to go and do this right now, and I'm going to put that on the burner to simmer for a little while, and I have to go over here and do that because it's my decision to do that. You're not getting yanked off course, and because you are letting that happen, you're seeing things that need to be addressed on the side, and you deal with that. But you're deciding to look over there, fix that problem. I want to go over there now. I can't go the way I wanted at the moment. I have to go solve that thing. But it's your decision. It's not something you're doing for other people. You're doing it for other people, but you're not doing it because of other people's, direction. You're doing it because it's the right thing for you to do at the time. Even though it might not be the greatest thing, it might not be moving you forward. It allows you, to make those decisions and be in charge of your emotions. So with that, I'm done going on and on. I want you to have an amazing day. Get out for a ride if you can. Ride well, ride often. And if you look down below in the description, you'll see a link to my free community where I do a lot more of this. And I'm just looking to get some more one-on-one time with you, and really, share the lessons I've learned over the last umpteen years, and help you to be able to be the master of your own destiny and existence. So with that, we'll see you again tomorrow. Ciao.